Hello and welcome to the SIR podcast, the Society of Insurance Research. This is your host, Tony Cañas from Insurance Nerds. And today I have with me Luke Fraser, founder and CEO at Stepwise Innovation. Luke, thank you for joining me today.
How's it going? Tony, it is awesome to be here. I'm so amped to chat with you today.
Awesome. So for the listeners, this is kind of a fun one because Luke and I have recorded before for my podcast. And this time we're recording for the SIR podcast. So Luke, did I finally meet you in person at SIR in Chicago last year, or had we met in person before?
I think Chicago was the first time we met each other after knowing each other. We first met at InsurTech New York a few years ago through Anna Kupik.
Oh, okay.
She said, "Hey, meet Tony," and I said, "Hey, I'm Luke."
And you said,
brief. It was brief.
Was it Anna with Galecki? Is that who?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes. Shout out to Anna with Galecki.
Yes, she's amazing.
She's really awesome. Absolutely fantastic. So Luke, let's start with Stepwise Innovation. So what is Stepwise Innovation? What do you guys do?
Yeah, so Stepwise is a customer research firm. We help insurance carriers and intermediaries get closer to their customers so they can make better product marketing and distribution decisions. We've been around for almost 8 years. May will be 8 years of our existence, which we're super proud of. And companies come to us when they're looking to improve their customer experience in a way that they can't do with internal teams, to iterate on existing products in a customer-centric way, come up with new products, new offerings. And increasingly, teams are coming to us to work on reducing the risk of their existing books, but through customer empathy lens. So, customer research, and we help customers make better decisions.
So reduce the risk. I'm still taking notes. Reduce the risk of existing book, but with customer centric.
Yes.
Perfect. So, given the fact that the very first sentence you said describing it is a customer research firm, SIR, given that it's a Society of Insurance Research, seems like a very natural fit. So now, are you guys completely insurance, or do you help multiple verticals when it comes to customer research?
We do about 75% of our work is insurance. 25% is miscellaneous. We do consumer goods. We've done construction. We do healthcare, but we're largely in the insurance space.
All right. So how long have you been involved with SIR?
SIR been involved with maybe 2 or 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been in the insurance scene since 2012, both on the carrier side and on the vendor side of my own company. And I've been to a lot of conferences. Tony, I mean, you've been to more than I have, but I've been to a lot of conferences, right? And there's claim conferences, and there's tech conferences, and there's innovation conferences, and all these things. And a few years ago, a good friend of mine and colleague, shout out David Lamphere, he's done a lot of great insurance innovation work. He messaged me and said, "Hey, there's a conference in Boston called SIR, Society of Insurance Research. Are you familiar with it?" And it was like the next day. And I was like, I've been in the research world for a long time.
And you live in Boston.
And I live in Boston.
Perfect.
Yeah. That's good context. And it was a Sunday, Monday, I think, and I couldn't make the Sunday, but I bought the one-day ticket for Monday, walked over, took the train over, and had no idea what it was going to be, but I was like, I do insurance research.
Priced. So
yes.
It was worth the gamble. Yeah.
I think on that note, my whole experience with SIR has one, like, it's accessible. It's accessible and it's friendly.
I agree. So
the vibe that I got, and I bring up the other conferences, not to compare, but to just highlight SIR. I went there for the first time, and it was friendly and humble and welcoming, and it didn't feel like this showboat where everyone kind of had to put on a front.
That was my experience a year later in Chicago, last year, where I show up, and like you said, I go to many conferences, and there's great things to the big ones. There's great things to the little ones. The little ones sometimes have the problem that it's the same people year after year. And if you're the new person, it's a little bit hard
It's like,
to like get integrated. Now, I'm an extreme extrovert. I'll go introduce myself. I'll show you a magic trick, hand you my fun business card, and like I am like I won't even notice that other people would like a regular human would have trouble
mhm.
integrating into the group. But at SIR, like I was amazed how like friendly they were. And
Yeah.
given that the average type of person that ends up working in a research focused job is going to be an introvert, doubly impressive
Yeah.
that they are that friendly. Okay, so you show up in Boston.
Yeah. I
Uh,
show up in Boston and just the atmosphere and vibe are super neat. Um, yeah. And it's a bunch of, you know, just really curious people. And they're curious. They want to share their curiosity, the work they did. They have questions about your stuff. Everyone's trying to figure out how work in this product line is applicable to work in this product line. And yeah, and so I think I just went up to the table, like in the little vendor booth. There was a table. I think Amelia was there, and Amelia Fitch, and I think Justin Suter was there as well. And I just said hi, and said, "Hey, I would love to meet you after this and learn what this is." And that's what I did. And so I went to the conference, and then probably connected with two or three members of the organization afterwards, and yeah, got
so
involved.
the following year, you're there, and your company is a sponsor. Like you have a booth, if I'm not mistaken.
We presented. We didn't have a
Okay, you
booth.
guys presented. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. So, have you been involved outside of the conference?
Yes. Yeah. So right after that, I got in touch with some of those folks and learned about the different committees that they have. And that they encouraged me. That was a great way to get to know people. And so I joined the research committee, mostly because I thought I like research. I know how to do research. Yeah, and joined that. And it's really interesting because it's a mix of people from different roles, companies, domains, all trying to figure out what do we have in common that we can all put our common effort into to help SIR members and help the industry at large. That first year, a part of the research committee, my team was able to partner with SIR and do a custom research study on homeowners in weather extremes, which and to take a human-centered design approach and understanding mindsets about disasters, mindsets about recovery. How do they think about the role the insurance company plays? So that was neat because we got to co-create the agenda with the committee. We got to compare our that specific study's work with a quant study that another member of the research committee had done. So it was super neat because it was this collaborative effort that we weren't doing, like no one was doing to make money. We were doing to try to help the knowledge base of the organization.
Fantastic. Yeah, my experience was similar. The last day of the conference, I think it was a 2-day conference. I don't think
Mm-hmm.
it's 3 days. Last day of the conference, the society's president is talking about membership and why you should join. And I go to so many conferences, and this had never happened before. That I went and I looked at it, and it was affordable, and I went ahead and became a member. Uh, it right, like I felt super at home. My
Yeah.
role is not research. I'm sales. I'm basically a marketer.
Amazing.
Uh, but yeah, just great little organization. Uh, so
Are you on a
so
committee?
no, I'm not, and
Oh,
uh,
well, you're doing this. This
yeah,
counts.
correct. No, and like I I'm great at getting people excited. I'm great at marketing things. I can't execute my way out of a paper bag, and I've broken way too many hearts getting involved in committees and not being able to execute.
Oh, I know.
So
Yeah.
so I yes uh, I'm a
I will
wild card.
say, I will say, if anyone is listening and is thinking about getting more involved, the pace of the research committee is very sustainable
Okay.
and realistic. I even had to step back for a good amount starting this fall, just due to some personal things, and everyone was very gracious about it, and there was no shame or guilt. So I have also broken hearts by signing up for too many committees and then realizing it just wasn't going to work out. So
And it is definitely good career advice. Every professional organization you get involved with, you will get more out of it if you get involved in a committee or in some right in some sort of task or whatever. Getting involved in something, right? I've been preaching that for CPC Society for over a decade. At this point, going on a decade and a half. And yes, it like do it. Get involved. I just
I
happen to be
also
over involved.
I also would say, and I think you're definitely, you know, super connector, extrovert. I think for someone who, I guess you on the carrier side or startup side or vendor side, but I think it's particularly strong from my experience as a vendor. And I don't love that term, but like as a vendor at these conferences, um, you can often show up to a conference. I'll rephrase that. Conferences and most things are better when you already know people.
Yes, absolutely.
And it can be very isolating to show up to a conference, particularly as a a small business owner, and really just not know anyone. And I'm pretty extroverted too. I'll talk to people. I hang out at the snacks table. That's my thing, and make jokes about the coffee, and like hope someone laughs and talks to me. But anyways, the advice I would give to my former self is, hey, if you want to know someone at a conference, and you know the conference is in 9 or 10 months, figure out how you can get involved with that conference now. And so the cool part about the SIR conference that admittedly I haven't done with a lot of other conferences is I get to now meet people in person that I've been connecting with for 10
Mhm.
months online and I've never met. And so it's just really, you're just excited to go give someone a hug.
That is fantastic advice. Absolutely fantastic advice. There's a book that I recommend all the time to introverts when they call me for career advice. Chatwithtony.com. It's by Susan Cain. Quiet by Susan Cain. And one of
Mm,
the things that it advises is when it comes to professional events, which are just less comfortable for you than for the extroverts, um, volunteer to do something, right? Volunteer to help
mm,
run something,
mm,
and you will feel much more at home. While the extroverts, yeah, can just hang out at the coffee table, right? Uh,
right.
Learn magic and like meet people that way, right?
Hmm.
But yes, find and yes, do your research ahead of time so that you know who you want to meet and connect with
Hmm.
them ahead of time. Uh, in fact, I would say uh, I'm a fellow member of SIR is a good thing to include when you add somebody on LinkedIn. They'll accept it, right? You already have something in common.
Yeah, I did a lot of, I don't know if I can quickly scan my email. When I first joined SIR, I did a lot of cold messages to members and said, I think my subject line was exactly, hey, fellow SIR member, would love to say hi. And people did it. And, it wasn't a sales conversation. It
You
didn't
have
have
to be
anything
careful,
beyond,
exactly.
yeah, and it wasn't anything beyond, hey, I'm new to this organization. Love to hear how you've experienced it and just say hi. And, no harm, no foul if someone isn't up for it. But I got to meet a lot of people I wouldn't meet otherwise.
That is great advice for any organization you're a member of. For years, I've been telling people use the CPC Society as an alumni organization, and same goes for SIR. Absolutely.
Mm.
And if you're a member of RIMS, if you're a member of whatever, uh,
And I'm less familiar with the CPCU Society. However, I did pass the exams in my younger days. Um,
and you don't have comma CPCU next to your name. I probably already gave you crap about this when we recorded
you
together.
have, I think you
Okay,
have,
perfect.
yeah,
When we
yeah.
recorded my podcast.
Yes, I'll have a separate conversation. I'll have questions for you on that one. But um, this organization is, and a lot of these organizations are volunteer built and run. And so if you do, like you said about the quiet suggestion of the service mentality, if you are genuinely interested in helping contribute to something, people who have been involved for a long time want to give you their thoughts. Like if you're actually genuine about it and you want to contribute, people want to connect on that. So that's what I've found.
Absolutely. And I would add, so most associations in our industry, and probably in other industries, I just happen to be very insurance focused, but most associations in our industry have some level of paid staff, and that paid staff is association people, not insurance people, and then a whole bunch of volunteers to make the thing run. The paid staff at SIR is light years better than the paid staff at any other association I'm involved in. Truly, like they are so good.
I was just gonna say that, and I was gonna caveat it with like I'm not just trying to compliment the organization on this podcast, but Megan and Em and anyone else on that team that I've worked with.
Amelia, well, Amelia is volunteer, but yes, everyone
so helpful. I just think even just when we shared our research at the conference last year, we had like all these last minute technical questions, and I don't know, they're wonderful.
No,
so if you're listening to this, they're amazing.
SIR, both are amazing, and that's part of that. Like in a 2-day conference, I was like, oh my god, I love you guys.
Yeah,
and now it is easy to come out of a conference in a high, but then you kind of come down, and whether that organization is active the rest of the year is varies a lot.
Right.
With SIR, they've continued to be fantastic throughout the year. So yeah, it's to me, it's criminal how unknown they are compared to CPCU, compared to RIMS, compared to NAIA, compared to so many other great associations in our industry, compared to Gamma Beta Sigma, and there's so many, NAMIC, Big I, and you never hear about SIR, and it is such a wonderful organization.
Yeah, that's why I was blown away when my friend messaged me about it, because I was thinking, I have been screaming about insurance and research for, and admitting that everyone plays in a niche space, but for years, like where have you been?
1,000%. For me, chatwithtony.com, when I end up with a person who wants to go into product, for example, product has the insurance product, not tech product, has generally no entry-level role. It's right. Generally former underwriters, former actuaries. How do you get into product? SIR is a perfect place to meet a bunch of product people and a bunch of persons that do product adjacent roles that maybe don't have the product title. So for me, it's been wonderful in that when I run into somebody who wants to go into product or who is in product and doesn't have a community, join SIR.
Right. Sometimes I see on the research committee some folks that maybe are more senior in their career will also have invited someone in their organization that's a little bit more junior in their career, and they were probably voluntold to join. But I think of that, and my first job at Liberty Mutual out of college was amazing opportunity. I learned so much. But I do wonder, what different perspective would I have had if someone said, hey, also sit on something that looks outside and connects?
That is absolutely great advice for volunteers in every organization. And as I talked earlier, because of the type of research is a heads down thing, right? Largely. So people who end up in research jobs are more likely to be introverts than you and I. So if they're introverts, even if they've been active at SIR for 10 years, they're less likely to volunteer the junior people in their teams to join SIR. Right. And I think we all have stories of having been gently or not so gently pushed into joining a professional organization and getting involved, and it having been fantastic for our careers.
Hmm.
So yes, SIR, senior volunteers, uh, don't be afraid to push the junior people in your team to get involved.
Yeah,
They'll
because I
take you
also
for it.
think in a volunteer-led organization like SIR, like titles don't your title at your day job doesn't really matter, right? So you could assume more responsibility in a way that
I have been saying this about CPCU forever. Like the very, very early articles at Insurance Nerds, 11 years old now. Uh, how do you become, how to get your first manager role, right? Because you have this catch 22 of, we won't give you the manager role because you've never been a manager, but how do you get manager experience without a manager role?
right.
At volunteer organizations like CPCU, like SIR, etc.,
Mhm.
where they desperately need people to step up. And if you can get volunteers to get stuff done, you'll have a much easier time getting people who get paid to get your stuff done.
Mm,
Right?
right.
So volunteer-led professional organizations are great places to get that leadership experience that will directly translate to your manager interviews at your day job. To
Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't even a definitely wasn't a consideration, but I do, and I haven't been in corporate for a long time, but I assume people still have development goals,
oh yeah,
that
yeah.
you check in on. Yeah. Um, if I were managing a more junior team right now in-house, yeah, for sure add, hey, of these 10, find whatever it is, find an external organization and figure out a way to get involved, and like I will support you on that. I think that's a great development goal.
That's the other thing. If you volunteer at SIR and join a committee or join something, you have a much better chance at getting your company to support the trip to the conference. And it's a very reasonably priced conference,
Yeah.
right? I managed to get support for both CPCU conferences. They have a spring and a fall, uh,
Mhm.
almost every year. But by going to my manager and basically making the case of, hey, I'm a member of the CPCU new designee task force, which then became the CPCU new designee committee, and I'm expected to be at leadership summit, and then in the fall I'm expected to be at the annual meeting or InterRisk. I would really appreciate your support, and I was able to get support almost every year, uh, and that was
I mean,
without
yes.
ChatGPT helping me craft that letter.
Yeah.
It's a lot
It's
easier.
pretty compelling if you're part of a committee or a board or a service
they
position. Yeah.
they have dollars for development, uh, and it's a lot easier to get the support if you're in a committee than if it's like, oh, I like this organization and this conference looks cool. Can I go?
Yeah. Yeah. It's not like you're going to some flashy CES electronic show.
And
Yeah.
SIR, the conference itself is not, it's not expensive, and like this year's Kansas City,
Yeah.
right? Other conferences have the problem that they're always in expensive cities.
Mm.
So it's so much easier to get support if you're going to Kansas
Buy
City.
your ticket now. Buy your ticket now. Get
Exactly.
some barbecue in Kansas City. I've only been to the airport, and
Are you going to the SIR conference this year?
I believe so. I'm out west, so I got to figure out some travel stuff, but I believe
KC
I'll be there.
is not is middle of the
All
country.
right. Well,
From LA, it's a direct flight from LAX, probably Delta. Uh,
all right. I'll check that.
fantastic. Okay, so Luke, anything else that we should make sure we touch on before we call it a day?
Uh, no, super excited to have found SAR a bunch of years ago, and yeah, Tony, awesome, always awesome to chat and reconnect.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you.